Kuwait plans on using Gaydar for anyone who attempts to enter any of the Gulf cooperation countries. Now, the reason why they're doing this is because they're really afraid of, the homosexuality virus spreading among these countries. So they are using soft science as a way to solve this problem.
So, by the way, they don't mean actual disease spreading like AIDS or anything like that. No, they mean the homosexuality spreading like a virus.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works usually. Like if one person touches another person who's gay, boom, that person becomes gay and it's off and running. Or if they sneeze in the direction of a straight person, the other person is like, oh, right, penis, totally interested.
Yeah. So
these guys have it figured out.
They're crazy. Okay, so usually the hatred toward gay people has to do with ignorance, and this is a perfect example of that. In fact, the director of public health in Kuwait says the following: "We will take stricter measures that will help us detect gays who will then be barred from entering Kuwait or any of the Gulf member states."
Those quotes always amuse me. I know it's serious because they terrible discrimination, etc. But like, we will be very strict with the gays. If we catch those gays, we're going to be very, very strict with them. They're being naughty. Like, all right, dude. And by the way, you know what happens in the Gulf states and why they're actually seeing an increase in what they perceive to be homosexuality, but in reality, it's just that they're maybe noticing it more. It always existed, etc. Is that they're not ever in contact with women, right? The women are covered up. They're kept in protective custody in their homes. In Saudi Arabia, they can't even drive, etc. So what do guys do? They keep hanging out with each other, especially when they're going through puberty. So since there's no women and there's only guys around, what do some of them do? They have sex with one another, right? It's actually, super ironically, your backwards culture that leads to more homosexual acts, right? And then you turn around and you're like, oh, the Westerners, the expats, they're spreading their gay virus all around here. No, ironically, it's your laws. And you should reconsider those. You should do a little gaydar on yourself and see what you come up with.
So stupid. And by the way, look, I don't believe in this at all. I think it's 100% bullshit, right? But some researchers are arguing that you can look at facial features and determine whether or not someone's gay just by looking at how far their eyes are apart and things like that. And one of those, and I'm oversimplifying it, but the reason why I'm oversimplifying it is because I think it's absurd. Anyway, one of those researchers is Joshua Tabak. He's from the University of Washington, and he says, should you trust your gaydar in everyday life? Probably not. In our experience, average gaydar judgment accuracy was only in the 60% range. 60% of the time, it works every time. This demonstrates gaydar ability, which is far from judgment proficiency, but is gaydar real? Absolutely. Not buying it, sorry.
Okay, now that researcher's a real guy. He's not from Kuwait. He's not trying to discriminate against gays. And he says, be careful. If you think somebody might look gay, you're not necessarily right, etc. But we've noticed some things, etc. Okay, but look, don't do it. All you're doing is encouraging the idiots that do pseudoscience. What I can't wait for is for this Kuwaiti idiot to try to figure out how he's going to do gaydar.